Are you two guys related?
We sure are.
What?
Father and son.
You look alike.
No.
What?
No, we don't.
Father and son.
Which one's over? Okay, guys, we're going to start now.
Boy, you have good compliments.
Hi, I'm Alan Dale from Gale Force Winds, and I got to tell you what a pleasure it is to be here at Central Minex 2024 in the beautiful town of Gander, Newfoundland. I got to tell you, a lot of great conversations been happening in and around the show floor. Thanks to our good friends at Rally Drilling Services for having the vision to bring everybody into a conversation. They understand that everybody's voices matter here, and if we're going to lift this entire sector, everybody's voices count. Fellas, why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves? When you start, sir.
My name is Kevin Keats. I'm actually, this is my dad, Allan, and we've been at the prospecting sector, industry, whatever you want to call it, for the last 50 years or more, 6, 7 generations of our family. And this has been a fun ride with Newfound Gold and Rally Drilling, you know, I work with them daily. It's been fun, been a fun ride.
How about yourself, sir?
Well, my name is Allan Keats, and Kevin's father. And I guess it's just something that I got into, owing to my great-great-grandfather, Sully Joel, found mineral from Bay Spare, and he used to travel across to Port Lambert, and in his routes, I guess he found that mineral, and nobody ever found it. We went looking for it, but it ended up that there was a mining company that came to Gander, and my father and me went up and told them about this, and meanwhile, the rest is history, I guess, but they are the sign. And I guess this is about the 3rd deposit that I've been involved in, and the Duck Pond mine and the one before that, Point Limited, bigger than there, one of them just lower grade, and now this one, so I got one more to go, and I had fun.
This is a multi-generational journey you fellas are on. I mean, it goes way back.
Oh, absolutely. It goes right back to great-great-grandfather Sully Joe, who, as Dad said, was full Micmac Indian, was a trapper, found silver on his trap line, didn't know what he had, knew he had mineral, took it to somebody, showed him, they assayed it and went from there, and then, as Dad said, they went and got the job, and then from there, we've, as times changed, we got some family members that were a little more smarter, I want to call it, in the business side, and then they started staking claims, going out prospecting on their own, selling the claims to mining companies, and learning how to do option deals with companies and things like that. And then they learned this in Ontario, came back to Newfoundland, told Dad, myself, and all other family members, and then we said, yeah, we can do this too.
Right.
So me and Dad tracked many a ground, staked many claims. My younger brother, Sully, was with us many times. My nephews, now my sons, both work for Newfound Gold. My cousins, they got multiple public companies trading on the Toronto Stock Exchange. I was involved with one for 13 years, ran it, formed it, co-former, I should say. You know, just a great whole story, and Dad always says he would never change a thing. Never change a thing. It was such a fun ride, and it's still more to come, you know.
Dad, from your point of view, what does it feel like to look back, you know, when you were young and your granddad and your dad going through this, and now watching it permeate to your son and your grandkids? How's that feel? You're right in the middle of all of this.
I just can't explain it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just unbelievable. And I might add, like when I started out, Dad couldn't read nor write, and I only had grade 8. But I ended up, I guess he guided me steps, or somebody did. And like I said, I went to work in '69 with Miranda. I was with him for 28 years. I was field foreman for 26. and this is the end results.
Wow. So Phyllis, tell us about some of the big significant finds and what that's turned into in this room today.
Okay, well, for me, the biggest find is in this room today is to be able to still sit here with my dad.
Yeah, me.
I was a kid. He put me in the backpack. He trekked me through the woods.
Go on.
I'm serious.
Really?
And then he would get tired and he'd say, okay, you got to get out now and you got to walk. So I'd walk. Then I'd say, Dad, my legs are tired.
Yeah.
And to be able to sit here and see this in my hometown where I went to high school and the elementary school, my peers, to be able to sit here with my dad is the best success story of it all.
Best find of all.
Oh, it's the best one.
Better than any gold in the ground, right there.
Back to the other side, the newfound gold. You know, right now we don't know how much gold is there, but we know there's a lot of gold. And it all started from my uncle Fred, who worked for Noranda as well, discovered some gold. And at the same time, Noranda was getting out of gold, leaving the province. And Fred kept it in his mind, and of course it went, the crown, the land reverted back to the crown. It came open, and the ground came open, and it got into a big staking dispute. This company said they got it, this one got it. Long story short, after say 10 years, it got awarded to a company that was defunct, sat there, and then my dad noticed that it was coming open.
No, excuse me for putting in there. Norm Mercer sent me a map, and he was working with the government, and he knew about the boiler and that. And he said, "El, do you realize this is coming open?" And I wasn't much good at that, and I think I might have been working with somebody else. Kevin was with Fort Knox, and we phoned Peter Dimmel, and Peter Dimmel's take it.
That's right. So Norm gave me the map. I bought it home from working out on the Avalon with this gold company, Fort Knox Gold, and we bought the map out, and Dad said, "Yep, it's coming open." So we, like you said, we called Peter Dimmel. Peter, we said, "We want you to claim this for us, and we'll cut you in three ways, 33.33% each." And that's what we did. That was 1998.
Wow.
We sold the ground 5 times, 5 different companies, option agreements.
Yeah.
They couldn't meet the requirements of the agreement, so they would have to give us back the claims. They gave us back the claims, and we go to Toronto, Vancouver, to the mining shows, and little small town betting boy and his dad tracking the floor, and we sell them again. And finally we sold them to Newfound Gold, what had happened there, I think there was another prospector, Gary Lewis, had attracted the Newfound Gold management to Newfoundland, and was telling them about properties, told them about ours. They came, visited us, and Dad sold them the story, and they took the ground. They went out, they drilled, and they hit some of the best grades ever in Newfoundland for sure. Canada, probably, competing with the world.
Wow.
Which turned into hundreds of $1 million spent, turned into this show, and who would ever thought a Minex show, sold out show, would be in Gander, thanks to my uncle's boulder back in the day, because that's where it all started, that boulder. It's my uncle Fred.
We were with Noranda then, and they had a couple of years because they wouldn't even ask for gold because they were a base metal, copper, lead, and zinc, right?
Yeah. You're sold it 5 times, you were pushing, going, you were beating the street, trying to move this thing. Did you ever say we're giving up on this?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
You knew right away.
We knew.
You knew.
Me and him sat many times, have a beer, have a drink, say, it's out there. We know it's out there. We're going to find it.
Yeah.
And what had happened was all the other companies did great work, but they had budgets, they had money constraints, right? So they could only do so much. So this last company, which was Newfound Gold, and at the time it wasn't Newfound Gold, it was a company called Palisade, but the same management.
Right.
They said, okay, well, we're not going to test this target because that's been done. We're not going to do this because this company done that, XYZ done this thing. So they actually looked at one set of data and said, man, there's a lot of gold there, and but it's a lot of lost core in the sampling.
They drill, they
lose it.
Lose the core and grind it, like that.
So they picked up on that.
That was the gold zone.
That was the main Keats zone. They picked up on this ground core and lost core, so they went back and redone it at a different approach.
Yeah.
Sure enough, there it was.
Recovered the core, told the drillers, now boys, you know, you will get bonus for not pushing, right?
What did that feel like for you guys then, when you knew that, okay, this is going to go?
I'll tell you, for me, I'll tell you where I was. I was sitting in an excavator at Syncrude on reclamation.
Okay.
When I got the call that they had hit, and I'm like, yes. And as we got more into it over the years, and myself and Dad, Peter, we talk, and we optioned a lot of ground over the years to different companies. And when we'd option the ground, you'd get promised the world. But when you sign on the dotted line, some of the companies weren't so nice, and okay, thank you, see you later.
Yeah.
So then I'd sit home and I'd have to go to Alberta then for work because they would hire their guys. So I said to Dad and Peter one day, I said, no more. I'm putting a clause in the agreement that it's going to protect us. If there's any work we're capable of doing at competitive prices, we get to do it. We're not going away, look, I'm putting somebody else in our backyard. We put the clause in, and Newfound Gold honored it right from day one. We said, listen, we will, you guys are part of this.
Right.
We're going to make this happen.
Yeah.
And so it's not only the deal we did, you know, with them. I've since, my company is Gundu Resources, which is a Halibu registered company. We are First Nations. We're proud of it. I've had as high as 48 employees in the last 3 years. I'm still at 25. I have excavators, dump trucks, so I've diversified and said, okay, I have kids, right? I have grandkids. I want to make sure I build something for them, like my dad's dream was with me and my brother. And my brother has been with us and he's on his way back to work with us, and just so much, you know.
But anyway, you know, we had fun and we worked.
You worked hard at it, right? You found it, you stuck with it. Perseverance paid off, and you set boundaries. Said, look, we're going to do this work, and not because you necessarily needed the work, but you knew what was important, that this whole family unit.
Well, who best to have there? The one who's been tramping over the ground all the time.
What I was about to say, I don't know, I believe I heard somebody say last year, or the year before, that Newfound Gold was the biggest employer in Gander.
Wow.
It was. I'm sure it probably still is today outside, saying government.
Right. What does that feel like, guys, to know that you're making that kind of a contribution right here? Like you said, second year of Minex, sold out show, business being done, investment happening, because your uncle's rock. Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Isn't it?
Crazy, isn't it, Dad? We talk about it.
No. And again, like, there's more to come. There is more to come.
Because you got great grandkids.
Yeah, no.
Yes. We got family members right over here. There's Benson Resources, you know, with a copper deposit.
Yeah.
That's Dad's nephew.
Yeah.
He's drilling off a copper deposit right now down by St. Albans.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's one of the best things.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Oh.
So there's more to come. Dad, as we talked about, our sponsor here, which is Raleigh, has met with Dad, and Dad got an idea of something he's been touting every day. I go up to whether I pick up my dog, drop off my little dog, or I go up to see him. We got to drill this hole. We got to drill this hole. Drilling is not cheap. You know, drilling is expensive. But if you can get someone to come in and partner up with your ideas, which Raleigh now, because of my Uncle Fred's boulder, now your Dad can go drill a dream, because that's where it all stemmed from, right? You can't forget where this came from. And I want to go back to Uncle Fred's boulder, and we use this quite a bit. Our family's gifted. We worked hard. We sacrificed a lot.
Nobody gave you enough. I can remember lugging logs on this back of butter making pads when Dad had a sawmill when I quit school.
Yeah.
But we had the best teachers ever.
Norm Mercer.
So we never had the university education, but we had the field smarts, and we had the smarts. Dad would always say, "Kev, look at this on the map. Look at these lakes. How come they're lined up in a line like that, and all the rest are round?" I'd say, "That's a fault. You know, we got to go in there, check the government geochem and see if there's any lake sediments." Hey, Dad. Dad would, and we could look. Oh my God, Dad! There's a 4 ppb gold in the lake here, and there's a 3 in this one, and there's a 2 in this one, and that's our line. We need to, so that's a fault, Kevin. We need to go. We'd identify them things, and we had no education for this, right? And we get in there, and sure enough, we discover something. And the whole family is gifted like it. Like, it's amazing how we done it. But we'd always go back to our teachers, which was Peter Dimmel, Norm Mercer, Wayne Reed, Dave McDonald, and Dan Lee. The list just, Tim Froud. Hey, we'd be
up by some night time, you just go over and back. What do you think? And everybody would ask me, and I'm easy going, eh? And I got a way about me getting people to do something without even asking, but just by tapping my top.
Well, you guys are, I mean, it's clear that you're at one with the land around you. You're completely in touch with the land, right?
Yeah, oh,
people,
definitely.
Right? People
definitely
talk about that. They don't quite understand it. You're at one with the land.
I'm walking, and Peter Dimmel, I don't know if you did the interview.
We did.
Peter Dimmel, me and he be walking along a beach down in when I found the boulders that led to that deposit, eh? Tractor had pulled them up, Price put a road in there, logging, eh? And we were walking around there. I said, Peter, there's a boulder out there, I said. The palm was all rust. And I said, that rust looks different. And you had to go out that far, right? And this day, me and Peter was going along, and I said, I was only about half an hour back to the camp and walked back. I said, I'm going out there, and I got out in summer, and I banged the rock, and I threw the shore. How in the frick do you do? It was a big old boulder, massive copper, lead, and zinc. Wow. It just looked like, it looked a little bit different to me than all the rest. Right?
Yep. Fellas, this is, I got to tell you, I came to the mining show talking about, you know, minerals and all the excitement that's going around. This is a beautiful story. This is a family story.
Right from Sully Joe.
Right on.
Yeah.
Guys, I want to tell you, we appreciate everything you've done for this area. Appreciate what you continue to do. The legacy that you're leaving is unbelievable. And it must feel so good, father and son, to be having this conversation together.
I had a conversation with a gentleman last night, and he said, cherish every moment with your dad. I lost my dad at a young age. And I watched you together, and it's like, wow.
Fellas, on behalf of our good friends at Rally Drilling Services, thanks very much for being on the show. We really appreciate you both. We really do.
More to come.
More to come.
More to come.
Stay tuned.
If you ever wondered about newfound gold in this province, Uncle Fred's Rock, right here.
Uncle Fred's Rock, and that's what it was.